That way you're kind of flushing that traffic out despite there being an accident. Let's see what else. Yeah, and usually it's just kind of, you get one accident, you put it there. You get another one, you put it there. And typically, if you think of 4 of those individual cubes make up one screen. So if I were to throw this up under normal circumstances, it would occupy all 4 of those one picture. The busy day, like when you get bad rain, bad snowstorm, you easily have 5 or 6 things up there at once. So then we have a system called glove delivery. So basically, you identify an incident. You say, all right, there's an accident right here. There's a system called glove delivery. So basically, what this is a template. It allows us to put a subject, which is typically a lot of monitoring apps. So this is just your basic Google Maps. This is what's called a deep view.
Yeah, so you're looking at where it's tracking where all the phones are, where...
Pretty much. That's how it's kind of done. Well, that's kind of how it's done. So yeah, this is no different than like if you GPS something,
Yeah, you plug in an address and it tells you, hey, this route has a lot of traffic because we see a lot of people here.
Exactly. So this is probably nothing you're unfamiliar with. Green is good. I mean, green basically means everyone's going the speed or above, in a good shape. But you start getting some of these red. I mean, this is nothing uncommon, these reds. That's just basically probably someone stopped at a light. But if you were to pull this map up and all of a sudden you see red, from here to here, that's concerning. It's like, all right, why is there a 2-mile backup at 9:53 in the morning? Something must be going on. And there are times, so you say, all right, 21 mile and 21 mile in a car, which I don't think the camera's up. But just for the sake of argument, you say, all right, 21 mile in a car. If this was backed up for a mile, we saw that on there, we could pull up the camera there, investigate. Oh, okay, crap, somebody spilled a load of, batteries on the street, and they're cleaning it up. So it's just kind of this constant whack-a-mole game of like things pop up and you look for them. Things pop up. We're just kind of the front line of defense in terms of like knowing what's out there, knowing what impacts your way to work. It could be construction, it could be things like that. Another thing we do is service requests. That's a big one. Is that the general public can call us and complain about the time of the night. And it's very common. I mean, say you were going, they might be getting a little bit. Say you're going over here, and all of a sudden you're stuck at this light, and you realize, like, oh man, it's really short greens, and it only is given like enough for 3 cars to get through at a time. You could call us up and say, hey, I'm here at 21 in car, I'm going east. It seems like the light is really short. We fill out what's called a service request. Basically, we take down your info, a summary of what you're saying. You're saying, hey, I notice around 10 o'clock in the morning, we're getting really short greens over here. We fill out a service request that gets attached to the engineers upstairs, and then they look into it. So they can look and go, all right, the motorists let the control room know that there's really short green time there at 21 in car. They do their diagnosis. I mean, it could be something as simple. There's an equipment failure out there where something's not detecting the vehicles correctly. It could be something that is manual intervention where they have to get in there and say, all right, we need to get into that system and add 10 seconds of green time to help even that out a little bit better. So, I mean, really, it's like if you've ever driven, which I'm assuming you have, there's no mystery that you get stuck at some of these lights where you're like, man, that just seems like it takes forever. Beyond like your normal getting stuck at a light. And that's one of the reasons we're here. People can call and say, I'm having a really hard time getting to my subdivision. The light never seems to turn green. And something Santosh will go into a little bit more when you guys are there is there's a system that's called detection. Essentially, it's a radio sensor that is kind of right near our camera. It's similar fashion to a camera, and it detects if you pull up to a light. So if there's not really for something like this where it's an intersection, but if you've ever left somebody's subdivision